Hola, este es el lanzamiento del hito 15.1 para el equipo de Configure. Sorry, KubeCon Valencia. So hello, this is the 15.1 milestone kickoff for the Configure team. Let me quickly share my screen and let's get started. So what do we plan to work on in the next milestone? First of all, we would like to we are going to focus mostly on maintenance type of work. We are way behind our Kubernetes version supports. The official release of Kubernetes 1.24 happened 2 or 3 weeks ago. We are just giving support for Kubernetes 1.22. We don't even support Kubernetes 1.23. And at the same time, we came up with a new support model around Kubernetes versions that will likely be more easy to follow for our users, easy to follow for the development as well, easier to plan with. But first we have to catch up. As a result, we definitely want to add support for 1.22 and perhaps for 1.23 as well. The next goal is to look into how Flux does Helm and customize support. We are looking into this because the agent-based GitOps approach today only supports pure Kubernetes manifest files. And the most often requested feature is to have Helm and customize support out of the box. And a very typical workflow is when you want to chain Helm and customize for deployment. So we want to support these use cases and want to learn how Flux does it. The next goal is to migrate or support the migration of various GitLab managed, GitLab owned Kubernetes clusters to be agent-based. And finally, we have a very important fix in upstream Cubectl, and we have to adjust a little bit our agent infrastructure as well to improve our CI/CD workflow and unblock all the migrations that we are aware of around the cluster certificate-based setup, almost all. But let's see a little bit more detail around what do we mean. In 15.1, we have a few items that are kind of must-haves. They come from the engineering organization, like this first item around providing database dictionary audit for the team. The next item that I want to speak about is what I already mentioned around Flux. We want to learn how they do it. Flux aims to follow the Unix philosophy of doing small things that you can pipe one after the other, and you can just pick some of those. Actually, we don't think that they do a really good job in being replaceable. So we very likely won't be able to use the Flux controller or Helm controller or customized controller. But if we do, we will go that direction, as it's better to work together with the community than build our own stuff. But all in all, what we want to provide here is a technical learning around how others do Helm and customized support in a GitOps workflow. The next item I want to speak a bit more is a warning, a pretty small development, but a very important one for us. We want to get rid of all the certificate-based cluster connections on gitlab.com. And in order to continuously notify the users, we are going to show a warning message on every project that has a certificate-based cluster attached. This warning will be shown only to maintainer rows and up. So developers won't see this warning, but maintainers will. And the warning is not dismissible. It will be there as long as there is a certificate-based cluster available in that project, even if the cluster comes from a group level cluster. If the project inherits it, we will show the warning. We hope that thanks to this warning, more and more users will still continue the migration to the agent, and we will be able to finally turn it off around 15.6 on gitlab.com. The next item I want to mention is the development we do in the upstream Cubectl code base primarily, and we follow up with that in our own code base as well. This will allow Cubectl exec attach copy calls in the CI/CD workflow with the agent. Today, the Kubernetes API does not support WebSocket protocol for this, and that's what we are improving and adding support for it. We hope that this will land in Kubernetes 1.25 that's expected to be released around August. And after that, as we add support for it, and as our users upgrade, they will be able to start using this feature. I already spoke about migration as well, that we want to continue migrations. Actually, as now we are not in a rush, we want to change our strategy. And this is very important for many GitLab teams who have GitLab clusters. Until now, we said that we are going to take on most of the burden of the migration, as it meant to be very fast, not just fast, but we had to act quickly. Now, as there is a half year to finish these migrations, we want to, instead of us doing all the migrations, we want the owners to do the migrations and provide us feedback. Of course, in the same time, we will support these migrations, which means that all our engineers will do at least one migration, but above that, we are looking for the owners, and I'm going to poke the owners to move on with the migrations with our support. And finally, I want to mention again the Kubernetes 1.22 and 1.23 support that we would like to provide within GitLab. This means all the GitLab features support these versions of Kubernetes. That means auto DevOps, security scanners, and vulnerability scanners, and so on. We are very close to ship the 1.22 version, and actually that's a deliverable. 1.23 is way more valuable for us because that's more recent and more in use these days. And that's still only a stretch goal for the milestone. This was our kickoff video. If you have any questions, you can reach us in the sconfigure Slack channel. Thank you. Gracias.